Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Yellowstone's Beth and Rip spinoff encounters its first big problem. Beth and Rip's love story will continue in a spinoff after the Yellowstone Season 5 finale, but a potential legal battle already poses hurdles to its development. It may take some time to introduce the latest addition to Taylor Sheridan's neo-Western universe to audiences. Beth and Rip have a promising Yellowstone spin-off story after the Season 5 finale. The couple bought a ranch in Dillon, Montana after Case sold the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch to the Broken Rock tribe, restoring the land to Montana's indigenous people. While Yellowstone audiences had mixed reactions to the Yellowstone Season 5 finale, considering its circumstances it was largely acceptable. Case and Monica returned to their home at East Camp, which Thomas Rainwater deeds back to the sixth-generation Dutton and his family. It also laid the groundwork for their following chapters. Case, Beth, and the cowboys bid farewell to John Dutton IU, with his daughter promising and succeeding to avenge his death. Which stories will continue is unclear, except for Beth and Rip's thus far, so hopefully their story doesn't experience the same lag as Yellowstone Season 5 Part 2. A report just days before the Yellowstone Season 5 finale announced a Yellowstone spinoff starring Beth and Rip. The report confirmed that Kelly Reilly and Cole Hauser would continue their characters, respectively. The series will reportedly share the most TNA with the flagship Yellowstone series. It occurs in the present day, adjacent to Yellowstone, and the developing spinoff starring Michelle Pfeiffer called The Madison, which shifts the focus away from the Dutton family. While rumors existed that Beth and Rip would continue the saga with Yellowstone Season 6, the report further muddled the clarity of the franchise's continuation. Following the Yellowstone Season 5 conclusion, the picture of Beth and Rip's story is more explicit. After her brother decides to sell the ranch, the couple's story will continue on Beth and Rip's ranch in Dillon, Montana. Beth bought the ranch, where her husband could continue life as a ranch foreman and cowboy, and where Beth could get away from the noise. Following flashbacks in Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 10, it looked like Beth and Rip's story could continue in Texas, but the finale confirmed the Montanans would instead plant roots in a remote area of their home state. While the potential for Beth and Rip's spin-off story creates exciting new possibilities, its development creates legal hurdles for the networks with stakes in distributing the Yellowstone stories. In the report, sources reported that while another Yellowstone season wasn't out of the question, production elements of Beth and Rip's story were more appealing. Namely, creating a series independent of the mothership would allow Paramount Network's parent, Paramount Global, to keep the show within the company's network. In contrast, Yellowstone has a pre-existing streaming deal with Peacock, barring Paramount Network from streaming Kevin Costner's series on Paramount+. A new report from Puck confirms that the debate between Yellowstone Season 6 and Beth and Rip's spin-off could trigger a legal battle with Peacock. Ultimately, legal battles will come down to whether Beth and Rip's show can distinguish itself from Yellowstone Season 6 to prove that it isn't just a continuation of the main show. Confirmed developments about the series suggest proving clear differentiation might be difficult for Paramount Network. Beth and Rip's show will include other original Yellowstone main characters and use the Yellowstone series name in the title. Still, Paramount could pivot to avoid a legal battle. The Puck report suggested that Peacock's parent, NBC Universal, would fight Paramount if they claimed exclusive rights for Paramount Plus to stream Beth and Rip's show, barring Peacock from doing the same. While NBCU has yet to take legal action, potential battles could tie up the Beth and Rip spin-off's development, stalling it at one of the earliest stages. Therefore, audiences may have to wait a while before seeing more of Beth and Rip's ranch in Dillon, Montana, since a battle for streaming rights between Paramount Plus and Peacock would prevent the show from establishing a strong creative direction, delaying its production. Considering Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2, faced significant production delays, further challenges decrease the likelihood that any follow-ups will have a quick turnaround. Therefore, it could be years before we see what happens at Beth and Rip's remote new home. The couple opted to bring Carter to Dillon. Their unofficially adopted son is still an adolescent, and any growth spurts Carter actor Finn Little must align with Beth and Rip's timeline. Thus, potential legal battles will push Beth and Rip's story further into the future, upping the stakes for what comes next for the Yellowstone power couple. The much-anticipated Yellowstone spinoff, centering around Beth Dutton and Rip Wheeler, was touted as a gritty exploration of love and resilience amidst the rugged backdrop of a remote ranching outpost. Fans of the original series were thrilled to see the fiery Beth and her loyal Rip embark on new adventures, but the production hit its first major snag, one that threatens to overshadow the very essence of the show. It began innocuously enough. The spinoff, tentatively titled Broken Range, had entered pre-production with high expectations. Set to explore the couple's life after leaving the Dutton Ranch, the story promised a fresh start for the duo, a chance to build something of their own while grappling with their complicated pasts. However, the challenges of transplanting the iconic couple into a new narrative became evident almost immediately. The first issue was logistical: the filming location. Yellowstone's original series had taken full advantage of Montana's breathtaking landscapes, and fans expected no less from Broken Range. But negotiations to secure a sprawling ranch in a remote region of Wyoming, intended to serve as Rip and Beth's new home, fell through at the 11th hour. Local landowners, wary of the environmental impact and disruptions from a large-scale production, backed out of the deal. This left the producers scrambling to find an alternative location that could replicate the rugged beauty fans had come to expect. Without a definitive setting, creative tensions began to simmer. Executive producer Taylor Sheridan envisioned a narrative steeped in isolation and survival, while network executives pushed for a more glamorous portrayal of Beth and Rip's new life, fearing that a grittier storyline might alienate casual viewers. The resulting creative clash spilled into the writers' room, where the team struggled to balance Sheridan's unflinching realism with the network's commercial considerations. Compounding the problem was the challenge of preserving the essence of Beth and Rip's relationship. In Yellowstone, their dynamic had thrived amidst chaos. Beth's fiery temperament and Rip's steadfast loyalty were tested by the high-stakes drama of the Dutton family's empire. Stripping away the familiar conflicts of the Yellowstone ranch risked diluting the intensity that had made their love story so compelling. Early drafts of the script reportedly failed to capture the couple's trademark spark, leaving test audiences unimpressed. The cast, too, found themselves grappling with the transition. Kelly Rayleigh, who plays Beth, voiced concerns during early rehearsals. Beth is defined by her battles, Rayleigh explained in an interview. She's a fighter, a survivor. But without the Dutton legacy hanging over her, who is she really? That's a question we're still trying to answer. Meanwhile, Cole Hauser, who portrays Rip, struggled with the prospect of softening his character. Rip's a man of few words, Hauser said. He's not the type to sit around and talk about his feelings. But in this new setting, we're asking him to open up more. It's a delicate balance. As the production faced mounting internal and external pressures, an unexpected controversy erupted online. Fans of Yellowstone took to social media to voice their concerns about the spin-off's direction. Some questioned whether Beth and Rip's story could sustain a series without the broader context of the Dutton family's power struggles. Others worried that the spin-off's premise risked turning their favorite characters into caricatures. Beth and Rip are perfect as they are, one fan wrote on Twitter. Why mess with a good thing? Another commented, the magic of Yellowstone is the ensemble cast and the intricate storylines. Can Beth and Rip really carry a whole show on their own? The backlash caught the production team off guard. To address the growing concerns, Sheridan released a statement promising that Broken Range would honor the integrity of its characters while delivering the same level of emotional depth and authenticity that fans had come to expect. But the damage was done. Skepticism about the spin-off's viability began to seep into the industry, with some insiders predicting that Broken Range might never make it to air. Despite these challenges, there were glimmers of hope. The production team enlisted a new co-writer, acclaimed novelist and screenwriter Anne Prolx, known for her evocative depictions of the American West. Prolx's involvement brought fresh energy to the project, and her nuanced understanding of rural life helped refine the script's portrayal of Beth and Rip's new world.